Shalom. I'd like to give all praises to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and to the brothers out there teaching to the four corners of the earth. Salutations. And just wanted to do a little quick lesson on the downfall of this economy, and what real riches is according to the scriptures. Now, start off because Jake like to trust in this whole system and economy, and especially they trust in these Federal Reserve notes. All right, so I'm gonna start off by going Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with a covering but not of my spirit, that may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Now we know this is talking about spiritually Egypt, which is here Babylon the Great, America. All right, because in Revelations 11:8, this place is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. All right. It says, therefore shall the strength of the Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Because ultimately, what you're trusting in this system, America, which is going down every day by the second, and ultimately you trust in these Federal Reserve notes, which will be your shame, And what's I about to say? Because you already got the Brexit going on, that just passed up about 2 weeks ago. Then you got all these other countries that's doing away. They don't want to be bothered with the American dollar, and they're stocking up on gold, and they're trying to find a new way of a new currency, But through the spirit, we already know of what the currency they're trying to bring here, and that's the RFID microchip and the NFC chip. RFID, the radio frequency identification, and NFC is near field communication. Now we already know that's the mark of the beast, in Revelations 13, 16, and 17. But that's for another topic. But that will be the new currency. And and we know that the dollar, that these Jake's trusting, ain't nothing. It's just a debt note, that they print, and then they give out to the people, and they put interest on it. All right. In the economy, I got this little article, but what it says, today's federal debt, and this is of the date. Today's federal debt is about 19. I think this is $1 trillion. The amount, I'm just reading. The amount is the gross of an outstanding federal debt issued by the United States Department of Treasury since 1790. But it doesn't include the state and local debt. It doesn't include so-called agency debt. It doesn't include the so-called unfunded liabilities and entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare. It says it doesn't include. So it's higher than that, man. But people want to still build kind of nation building, trusting society, when we know what's going down for sure. That's because these people want to stay here and they ain't trying to get the fuck up out of here. Excuse my language. But we trying to get up out of here. As soon as possible. We trying to seal the elect. It says the federal debt per person is about $59,000, $59,049.97. So round out 60,000. So you're already in debt as soon as you're born. And I don't know if you can see it, it's upside down, so but you could just look it up, and you can see that. But this economy is falling, and it's a beautiful thing, because it's closer and closer to our way up out of here. All right. Got a scripture on that. Go to Ecclesiastes 12:3. Yep. In that day, when the keepers of the house shall tremble, And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease. So that's all them jobs. And you know how people say I'm on a grind, I'm grinding. So that's them jobs. Because they are few. It's gonna come them times. And those that look out the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. You see, it's some jobs. The businesses. And you already got businesses in places all like around the world. Well, in America, closing down. Like you had all them WalMarts just closed down for they say apparently no reason for the water pipeline. But we already know what that's for. That's probably gonna be the your next concentration camp. Your FEMA camp, right? So verse 4 says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And it shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of the music shall be brought low. So this place, all the joy and all the music that you usually hear, it's gonna come to a time where it's gonna be brought low, because people gonna be in more of a state of mourning instead. Ain't gonna be no joyful spirit when all these things happen, like a recession or the depression, because it's gonna be worse than the Great Depression. Ain't no coming back out of this one. Isaiah 24 and 10. The city of confusion is broken down. And we already know what the city of confusion is. America. This is you can't see this place as a place of confusion. You're just so far gone. You're a zombie. So it says the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. That's what I just said. Oh, I would just read verse 12. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. So that's what's going on, and that's what's happening with this place. This place is going to be left with desolation. And it says the mirth of the land is going up. So there's not going to be no joy. How everybody in this proud, joyful state right now. Like everybody got something to be happy about. There's nothing to be happy about. And like I said before, Jake like to trust in these Federal Reserve notes. That's not back. That's a piece of paper that's not backed by nothing. Now I remember a while back, like in I think in 18 or 1900s or something, it was backed by like gold and silver. But now it's not even backed by nothing. It's not real money. Jake don't know what real riches is, And I'm gonna pull out what real riches is according to the scriptures, Let's go. Tells you. Abraham 13 and 2. Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and gold. So so when it says Abraham was rich in cattle and silver and gold, so that's what riches is. You got the cattle. You can make money out of cattle. They can have the babies, and that could be the food or whatever source you use, like the food, anything like they have for that. Then you got the silver and gold. Because that's real riches. Land, cattle, silver and gold. Who else? We got I'll give you another example. We got King Solomon. This is when Queen Sheba came to see King Solomon. I'm just reading a little example. It says, 2 Chronicles 9:13. Now the weight of the gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 636 talents of gold, besides that which chapmen and the merchants brought, and all the kings of Arabia and the governors of the country brought gold and silver to Solomon. And King Solomon made 200 targets of beaten gold. 600 shekels of beaten gold went to one target, and 300 shields made he of beaten gold. 300 of shekels gold went into one shield, and the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory, and overlaid it with pure gold. And there were 6 steps to the throne with a footstool of gold, which were fastened to the throne, and stays on each side by the sitting place, and 2 lions standing by those stays. And 12 lions stood there on one side and the other upon the 6 steps. There was not the like made in any kingdom. And all the drinking vessels of King Solomon were of gold, and all vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver, and not anything accounted of the days of Solomon. For the king's ships went to Tarshish with the servants of Haran. Every 3 years once came the ships of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. And the king Solomon passed all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom. And all the kings of the earth sought the presence of Solomon to hear the wisdom that the Most High had put in his heart. And they brought every man his present, vessels of silver, vessels of gold, and raiment, harness and spices, horses, mules, and rate year by year. And Solomon had 4,000 stalls for horses and chariots, and 12,000 horsemen, whom he bestowed in the great city and with the king of Jerusalem. And he reigned over all the kings from the river even to the land of the Philistines and the borders of Egypt. And the king made silver in Jerusalem and stones and cedar trees, he as the sycamore trees that are in the low plains, abundance. And they brought into Solomon horses out of Egypt and all the lands. So Solomon had great riches, Even so, they even went over there, Mr. Haram, the Canaanite. They was even going on ships, going on the ships to Tarshish and bringing King Solomon exotic animals, And even King Solomon, when he had his house, his house built, it took 14 years. So we could just imagine what his house looked like if it took 14 years to make. And I just read on the list of certain riches that he just had, So them are real riches, land, cattle, gold, and silver, which we have none of that today. We're running around on this debt note. But as the scriptures say, though, money is a defense. So we do got to deal with money in a type of way, because this is what we're subject under. But also, man, say this. 1 Corinthians 7:31 tells you, let's see, get it. I think it says, use this world, but not abusing it, So, we're just in this world like any other person. We do what we got to do, But we're not abusing it, We're just using this money for the time being, because that's what this society is built on, So don't get confused. It's not like I'm trying to tell you throw away your money or anything like that. I'm just trying to give you a difference between real riches and these riches. These so-called paper notes and debt notes, what I would call them, that they're not real riches. The real riches is land, cattle, gold, and silver. And the rich pieces of the earth. So that's all. I just wanted to go into a little quick lesson of edification. If certain people out there that may not know what real riches are, according to the scriptures, because Jake out there think riches is having stacks of a debt note, and they coming to a time where all that's about to be done away with. So then what? Because they about to push this chip, the RFID chip and the NFC chip, the mark of the beast. But that's another story. I'll get into that.